Hi guys, Holly Hobby coming to you today. What's up? We're going to be making something fun. I've never made it before, but I've had it at the Renaissance Festival. Scotch eggs. Okay, so roll up those sleeves, grab some ingredients. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be using we're kind of doubling this recipe as far as the eggs go. So we're going to be boiling 8 eggs. The recipe does call for 4, but I'm going to roll with 8, see how that goes. I figure anything left after the boiling we can use to make deviled eggs. We're going to use 1 pound of chorizo sausage, 3/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons barbecue sauce. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of paprika, and it's the smoked paprika, so it's going to be awesome. We're going to get the eggs boiling, we're going to get the sausage all seasoned, we're going to get it put together, and then we're going to pop them in the smoker outside for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So grab your stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, tell me things that you would like for us to make, from cooking to gardening to crafts. We'd love to have you ring that bell so that way you never miss a notification. I'm excited for this today, guys. Let's go. The very first step is to get the eggs ready to be boiled. We are starting with 8 eggs. They are cold, and the water is also cold. The best way to make a boiled egg is put a single layer in the saucepan, cover it by 1 to 2 inches of cold water. Gently bring the eggs to a boil. Once the water starts to boil, reduce to low heat and let it simmer for 15 minutes. Then we're going to drain the water, remove the eggs with a slotted spoon and place in a bowl of ice water. We're going to let that sit in the cold water until it's cool enough to handle. In the meantime, what we're going to be doing is gathering up all of our ingredients and mixing them well for the sausage. Now, someone did tell me a tip that the best way to get your eggs to properly boil so that you can peel them is to put a little bit of vinegar and salt in the water. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to use a teaspoon of vinegar, just estimate it out, and a little dash of salt. Okay, so we're going to use a mixing bowl. We're going to add all the seasonings, and then we're going to knead it all together. And then it says we need to divide the sausage into equal portions. So first we're going to start with the sausage. Okay, now we're going to add the breadcrumbs. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. Now, if you have a barbecue rub, you can do 2 teaspoons of that, but I want a lot of seasoning in here, so we're going to roll with this. We're going to do 1 teaspoon ground pepper, and this I'm just going to guesstimate out. 1 teaspoon garlic powder. Notice the difference in size between the teaspoon and the tablespoon. It took me years to actually know that that was a thing. I'm going to do 1/8 teaspoon of this, which I'm just going to guesstimate as well, which is our smoked paprika. And I've got a little bit of a rub here. I'm going to go ahead and add that as well, because that's super fun. Now you're going to get your hands dirty. Just kind of massaging this in. I'm probably going to have to start using my hands, or else I'm going to make a giant mess. This smells amazing. You can use a regular pork sausage. I'm using a chorizo. What's your favorite thing to try at the Renaissance Festival? We happen to do you have the Renaissance Festival where you live? We happen to have one that was coming every year forever until the pandemic started, and hopefully we'll be back this new year. My favorite foods are steak on a steak. There's also chicken teriyaki on a steak. There's fried macaroni and cheese. It's really good. There's cheesecake on a steak, which is cheesecake dipped in chocolate. It's really good. Oh, I also like their turkey legs. And they used to have this thing that was a frozen orange cut in half with the icy on top. That was fantastic. Okay, now that that's mixed pretty well, I'm just gonna go ahead and wash my hands. And I'm gonna turn up the water here a little bit because the eggs are barely starting to boil. Okay, so now we're supposed to take this and get it in equal slices, equal rolls. Oh, it smells so good. So in order to make it equal, you really want to take the whole thing out, and then you don't want to overwork it too much, but just pinch it in half, and then pinch it in half again. And I'm going to see if I've got enough material for 8. If not, then we'll just have 4. So we'll start off this way. Since I've got 2 bigger ones, we'll see if we're able to make it work with the smaller amount. And that will not be until after the eggs are boiled. Okay, so now that the eggs are coming to a boil, we're going to just change the temperature to simmer. And everyone's ovens are different. Mine is about between a 3 and a 4. We'll let that sit for 15 minutes, and then we're going to put it in its ice bath. Great. So now the eggs are boiled and cooled. We're just going to go ahead and take those shells off. If you need a little bit of cool water, you can absolutely do that to help get the shells off. I don't like to put shells into disposal, so I try to eliminate that as much as possible. You'll note that this one didn't come out real great. It did call for the vinegar and salt, although I'm not sure it really helped. Okay, now remember how I said the recipe only called for 4, so that's where we're going to start. Okay, so we're going to take one of the portions that we've already made. It said to flatten it in wax paper. Then you take the egg, get it in there, and then roll it up. Now this is how I'm going to know if I have enough meat or if we're just going to be making 4. No, it looks like we're going to be making just 4. We're going to press it together real nice so it can make its shape. And there we have it. All right, let's do the next one. Scotch eggs can be served for breakfast, or lunch, or dinner. If you have it for any of those meals, you could add mustard. I've had it with a Dijon mustard. We're going to cook this for an hour and 15 minutes at 325 in the smoker. It's already been preheating. And I think I'm going to leave it in the tray just to ensure that everything stays together. All right, so the Scotch eggs are finally done cooking. Smells amazing. A couple of things I've learned. Here's the digital thermometer that I use. When you turn it on, it takes the temperature of the meat. You want to make sure you get it into the meat at 165. What I've learned is to not separate out the meat mix before putting it on the egg. Just follow the instructions, pat it all out so that way it's all one piece that you're folding up into. Then really work hard to pinch the meat together so nothing comes out. It did separate a little bit when it cooked. Yeah, so in getting it out of the oven, everything did kind of shift a little bit. This one kind of came apart, but this one is mostly intact. You can serve this easily on its own. There's a ton of flavor packed in there, or you can dip it into a Dijon mustard, which I'm gonna do for sure. So here's my Scottish egg, and I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and click that bell for notifications, and I'd love to hear your ideas. Let's be awesome in all things and have fun in the kitchen. Bye, y'all.